hand on
It must have been right in here where
Where the stairs turned.
That post.
Yes, you're okay. I've already put one.
So they didn't have any of this done last time you guys were in here. They
Oh,
just
no,
had an
no,
old
no.
piece
No,
there.
the back part of it was on here
Mm-hmm.
then.
It was $5 for the
Wow.
kitchen and $5 for Band-Aid.
That's just crazy that it's so different.
Different, yeah.
I love this, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty. They did a nice job. And then there's a mud room, laundry room over to the left.
It's pretty, but it just really is.
Is it sad a little
It
bit?
is. I did
Yeah.
when I came in the door. I
could feel
teared
that
up.
a little bit of sad.
I did.
Yeah.
I teared up because it's all that I really remember
Right.
is gone.
Because that's what you were allowed in, right?
Yeah, because all
Was
all
that?
this up here. See, part of this would have been that big room, because the kitchen, it would have had like this much would have been like a hallway. It was like a long. It looked to me, it looked like a hallway because it wasn't wide enough.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was.
And then it came down here and it L-shaped.
But you didn't have an entrance to that because you
No.
said that was your bedroom.
No,
Yeah.
it
And
was
so the
double
kitchen
wide.
was probably in this
Your kitchen was in this
same
area?
maybe a little bit farther down, but
Well, the kitchen, it was built on, actually
'Cause it was
protruded
back-
out from here.
it backed up to
It's
this.
a little bit.
So, but there was a counter. The stove was back here, right? It was the stove and then the sink ran along this wall. And then there was a door that went out onto the back porch.
Well, you could actually go from that bedroom, you could go out on the back porch, or you could go through the kitchen
Yes.
and go.
And then in that middle room, there was a door that went out.
I
By the
guess it was
fireplace.
the kitchen that was at the back, that when Dennis was little, they said that they could hear him in there talking. Me, Mom did, said she could hear him in there talking, one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me. And she went running to see what it was, and he was feeding a snake through a hole in the screen.
He had a pet snake.
Feeding a snake through the hole in this grave.
It's cornbread and buttermilk.
Oh, okay.
So he'd take a bite and then he'd give the snake a bite.
Oh. How funny.
And then they told her that when one time that they came in and he had gotten into the cabinet and poured a whole can of cane patch syrup all over him.
Oh. Just because.
Well,
Who
I guess
knows?
he was trying to drink him some, and he just.
Oh, and then oh, fun.
But now Barbara, his sister, she was 10 years older than he was.
Okay.
So it was like, and she had a real hard time when his mama did, when her breast rose, what they call rising on, and she couldn't hold him or anything. And so he had a black mama for a long time that stayed there
Dennis
and
did?
breastfeeding.
Okay.
Because I didn't think he said that when he was born, they said that he was a blue baby.
What does
So
that
I
mean?
wondered what is a blue baby? So I had to do a little exploring then. And it's when they're having a problem with their heart,
Oh, okay.
circulation and everything. And he told me from the time we started dating, I'll be dead time I'm 50. And I'd ask him over and over, and I'd say, why did you say that? Because all of his grandparents and everything had lived up into their late 90s. All of them. And he kept on saying that. And right before his birthday, when he was 50, I told one of the girls, smart, but I told one of the girls that I was working with, I said, I don't know whether to go buy him a birthday present or buy me a black dress. Just being,
Right, yeah.
you know. And so I got him a birthday present just for the brackets.
Just in case.
Just for the record.
And his birthday was in October, and in June I woke up and he was dead.
Wow.
So he barely made it over 50. But it was strange because he had said that
He told us that.
from the time that we first met.
He'd be dead at 50.
I wonder how he.
Well, the doctor told him, said
Knew
didn't
that.
the doctor tell him, said if you don't quit smoking and drinking, you're gonna die? And then he told him, he said, I'm gonna die happy. die doing what I want to do. I think I've heard that before.
That sounds like something he would
Yeah,
have said.
the night before the massive heart attack, we were all out around the pool. He was happy, go lucky, running it. You know, we were like,
And yeah, he went to Brian's ball game that night.
yeah, we were during the night. Early that morning, Martha called us and said, you know, come to the house. And so, but
Both of his parents were well into their 90s when they passed away.
yeah,
And his his grandparents, which would be y'all's great grandparents, they were way up in there. But now his sister died 10 years later. No, not 10 years, 2 years.
Yeah.
She was 10 years older than him, but 2 years later she died. So both of their children
Died
died
before
at
them.
50 and 60
Wow.
years age.
Uncle
And
Johnny died. Did he die before Dennis died?
No.
no.
Uncle Johnny still.
No, he passed away.
No, because he wanted mom.
After 2000,
Yeah, that's
after
right.
we had the other
He
children.
was trying to court. Yeah, he was trying to court you.
Before or after,
After.
Dennis died? After. You're a hot number.
That's why he
But,
brought that
yeah, Uncle
plum
Johnny.
behind.
Uncle Johnny and Dennis, they like to make their own.
They make
moonshine.
Moonshine. I was gonna say, I
Moonshine.
feel like they were moonshine kind of
Yeah,
guys.
there's some steels that are blown up back. in
That
the
was
woods.
Johnny's.
That was
Yeah,
Johnny's.
Johnny was the one that made it.
And
Johnny
Papa-
made it. He would show up at the grocery store. I used to work at Giant Mart here before I
Yeah.
became an educator. He'd show up on a Sunday and say, "I need about 6 bales of sugar." And he'd come in and buy a bunch of sugar, and I said, "Johnny, you making it again?" Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tim, you're telling me there's a still between us and you? I need to get my horse and ride through there some
There are
more.
fragments of steels. back
Oh,
there.
okay. So no more working.
I
ones.
think
Broken glass.
And
the
there's
most used ones are on that side of the road.
That, well,
Ah.
back there toward where I-
But if you could
Yeah.
find a creek back there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
back there at the creek is where they.
He did some over here, but I think most of it he
And there's a
did
spring that comes up during, like, you know, when the water table comes up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a spring that comes up that runs through the back of the property too.
where the Landers have that piece now.
Yeah,
Back there on the other side, the Landers. Yeah, I've been over there with the horses a lot with the spring and
yeah.
yeah.
And, but yeah,
That's
there was
that
one
spring.
because we were back.
And
there.
Bobby lives back on the back of that where the creek and it gets all it'll like overflow and so I need to tell Bobby there's a still back there.
Probably.
My daddy and I were back there deer hunting, and we crossed over the fence trying to track a deer, and we ran across.
Yeah.
We ran across the fragments.
Yeah, Miss Pike. I think Miss Pike owns that property back there behind them now. The Fanchers have it to the left of that, and then Miss Pike owns back in that area. I think.
They did a great job in here.
Yeah, they did a nice job, didn't they?
We're remodeling the whole house. You know, preserving that part,
Yeah.
and then the new addition.
Would have been neat for them to find a way to preserve the older stuff here, but
I think it was probably too far gone.
it's yeah, that's what I'm
Some of
thinking.
it was.
Yeah.
Cause I think there was holes in the roof and wood. I mean, the water had come in, rain had come in, and been a lot of weathering and some of this stuff. In here.
she had,
I got all
Melanie,
video
she
for
had
you.
a lot of antique furniture.
Or you can come
and
back in. You know who has it now.
I just now thought about it.
Yeah, no. I'm the caretaker for the next 3 to 5 years, or however long it is until Jamie gets here. I mean, the kids are renting, but they're putting in the kids' contract, like, stuff about us, like
was it-
noise